Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Have you ever covered a carpet stain with a rug? Ignored a leaky faucet? Pretended your half-painted living room is supposed to look that way? Well, you're not alone. We've all got unfinished home projects. Whether it's a door that sticks, or a disorganized closet, or an AC unit that only works half the time. It all matters. You just haven't taken care of it yet. But there's an easier way. Just download the Thumbtack app. You can search for what you need done and find tons of highly rated pros right in your neighborhood. Check prices, reviews, and book a pro right on the spot. Plus, you'll know what to tackle next, because Thumbtack is the app that shows you what to do, who to hire, and when. Pull out your phone and in just a few taps, say goodbye to all those unfinished home projects and say hello to caring for your home the easier way. Download Thumbtack and start a project today.
Here is Jerry Brewer, columnist for the Washington Post. He's in town here in Wichita to work. He's working on a story about the impact of Jackie Robinson, and League 42 is a part of that story. Jerry, welcome. How are you today?
I am doing great. First time I've spent any real time in Wichita, so I've had a great experience so far.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about Wichita? I know you're staying down in Old Town. You arrived, I believe it was sometime yesterday. You're flying out tomorrow. What have you seen? What have you done?
Really just obviously, like the Kentuckian in me, I'm gonna find bourbon everywhere. So I had a glass of bourbon. Went to the pump house, walked around. We went to Meddy's, the Mediterranean place today. Had some Vietnamese food. There's a French restaurant that's really good. I hear here that I would love to go to, but might be a little tied up tonight.
So, Jerry, you do a lot as far as writing columns for the Washington Post. You cover games. You write about cultural stuff. You write about the larger issues in sports. What about this story here in Wichita and Jackie Robinson overall kind of resonated with you?
Yeah, I think one of the things that resonated with me is there's this real battle, I think, in the United States right now about our history and whose history should be represented how. And obviously there's, for the entire history of our country, I think we've been fighting about symbols. Like, I think we're a little too much into symbols and sometimes forget about the meaning behind them. And so that brought me to the statue. I think that there was such a national looking at it from the outside in, when the statue was stolen and we figured out all that happened, I think from the outside, first of all, like there's about a dozen sort of little remembrances around the country of Jackie Robinson. And I don't think like it was common knowledge to people that there was in Wichita. And then you sort of connect it and you understand what League 42 is about and what League 42 is trying to do. And I think we just kind of felt like everybody sort of agreed on Jackie Robinson. And to think that he wasn't sacred enough for someone to realize, like, hey, I should leave that alone. I think that kind of rankled and bothered like a lot of people around the country. And I think that's why everyone took just this heightened interest in it. And what's happened since then has reminded you of the beauty of sport, and how communities beyond just the community that you're in will embrace you during difficult times. And I think we all need some of that inspiration in our life.
Jerry Brewer is our guest. He's a sports columnist with the Washington Post in Wichita for part of a story he's doing about Jackie Robinson. And when you, Jerry, when you described that story to me this morning, it has a few facets. Go ahead and describe what those are, because it's very intriguing, the story you're wanting and trying to tell here.
Yeah, I want to do a story that's about protecting legacy. And so I'm taking that from a macro standpoint of all of us and Jackie Robinson, but then I wanted to take it to more of an interpersonal, really intimate look at protecting legacies. And I don't want to make you emotional, Bob, but I mean, that statue ties you to your late friend John Parsons. And there's another story about Jackie Robinson that I am telling that's going to kind of come together in this piece about a late author by the name of Barbara Cohen, and how her daughters connect through Jackie Robinson to her legacy, because she wrote a book called Thank You, Jackie Robinson. And there's just I've gotten to know some of the Robinson family, and how Rachel Robinson, at 101 years old, how the family has passed down the meaning of Jackie and the meaning of service to them, and how it's mandatory in their family that they do something for others. And they don't look at that as an obligation. They look at it as a source of pride. So I'm trying to have a bunch of these different, there's a lot of umbrellas I'm trying to hold in this story, and I hope that it just doesn't lift me off into the air somewhere. But
Well, it would be fitting if that happened in Kansas with the Wizard of Oz. You know that, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, when I turned on the weather today and saw like wind gusts up to 35, I'm sure that doesn't surprise you all here. But I was like, oh my goodness, I might fly away. But it's about just the legacy that lives within us, and legacy. Once again, I think sometimes people think of legacy as this overbearing responsibility that you have to live up to. The dictionary definition of legacy is what is passed down. And so when you get that baton, first of all, you have to choose to take it. And then secondly, you have to move it as far as you can and pass it down to someone else. And so looking at it from that standpoint, I think is going to be maybe a dimension that people don't consider. And I don't think we always think about Jackie Robinson as personal to each and every one of us. But hopefully when you're done reading this piece, if we do it correctly, you will think of it that way.
So, the police have kind of determined that this was not a racially motivated crime, but like you said, it's almost like is nothing sacred anymore. So how do you separate that element of it, the what Jackie Robinson means, with just some guy who wanted scrap metal? I mean, it's a weird line to me.
Right, and at that point we're taking someone at their word, as opposed to like really understanding what their true intentions might have been. I think there's a lot of nuance, and we don't want to conflate things. However, I look at it as part of this is a bit of a call to action to realize like that there's sort of this physical destroying of something that is a treasure in the city, but it also turns into a call to action to the actual legacy of Jackie Robinson, to protect that. And what are we willing to do to understand him better, to help pass the story along, not in a sanitized manner, but in a truthful manner, even the difficult parts that reveal the ugly aspects of our country. What are we willing to do there to really understand that? Because the story of Jackie Robinson in so many ways is a story, if you understand it correctly, you understand our country correctly. You understand the difficulties our country has had. You understand the sins of our country, but then you also understand the beauty of our country. And it's the all of it that matters. You can't just pick and choose what makes you feel good. You need to understand the all of it. And if ever there was something that symbolized that, it's this moment, what has happened over the past few months in Wichita. And you start to realize that when you look at things on a deeper level, yes, you can destroy a physical object, but it takes a lot more to destroy the spirit of something.
Talking here with Jerry Brewer from the Washington Post. It's very humbling for me to have you in town along. What's the name of your photographer?
Jahi.
Yeah. It's really humbling to me and our organization that you're in town. Same way with the ESPN crew that was in town over the weekend, and Anthony Oliveri from ESPN.com. and just like I said, it's humbling. So you're going to be out at our opening night tonight, where we have 8 games scheduled. Stay away, rain. We talked about that earlier. So what are you looking for from some of the folks who are going to be out there tonight?
Just community, really understanding, getting a better sense of what the soul of that neighborhood is like. Obviously I'm curious about, with this being opening night, like what the emotions might be coming off of a really difficult time. But ultimately you want to see the game and the people around the game who come together, and you want to feel that energy of sports. And I'm excited. I have covered many Jackie Robinson days, from the T-Mobile ballpark in Seattle, or Dodger Stadium, or this ballpark or that ballpark. But to be able to do it here, there's just something profound about it, to realize that we think so much when we talk about sports. We think about the major college football and basketball markets when we think about the pro cities. And it's not often enough that we think about Wichita, Kansas. And recently I was in Huntsville, Alabama, and other places like that really help you kind of understand the soul of sports and the broader reach of sports. I think it's important to listen to what people who don't have a dog in the fight but still have sporting passion, what they have to say. And then to just get back to kind of that grassroots feel, like Bob, just being in your office talking to you about the St. Louis Cardinals, sharing this connection that we have about Bob Gibson and the 1968 remarkable season that he had.
Go ahead and tell us about that season. I know you want to. Go ahead, Jerry.
I'll tell you about that season because I'm obsessed with it, because 1968, one of the most tumultuous times in American history. Bob Gibson goes 22-9, 112 ERA, strikes out 268 in 304 innings, 34 starts, 28 complete games, 13 shutouts. I think it's just the most line I've ever seen, and it's modern enough to where it doesn't feel like it's grainy to us, even though 1968 was a good while ago. So I'm just obsessed with that, with him, with the courage or just the fortitude it took to be able to play that well under those conditions in American society. Like, that is what sports is all about when it starts to teach us greater lessons. And so I'm always excited to nerd out about Bob Gibson.
I could listen to you recite those numbers 100 times, but then you ruined everything when you told me you're a Cubs fan. So we'll try to move beyond that.
I'm not as big of
Jerry,
one as I was growing up.
Okay, you're back in my good graces. Jerry, I really appreciate you guys being in town and using League 42 as an element of this great story you're going to tell about Jackie Robinson and his impact. Look forward to seeing you tonight. Be sure and hit up our concession stand. They have tremendous hamburgers and hot dogs.
Oh, I'm trying to watch my diet, but I think I'm going to break it for one night just for you.
All right, we'll see you later, Jerry.
Okay, thank you.
Save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile and get fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. So whether you're playing a game at home,
yes, goal,
or attending one live, you can do more without spending more. Learn how to save at cox.com/internet. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial cable. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. 2H 2023. Results may vary, not an endorsement. Other restrictions apply.
Everybody knows it. Toyota trucks are the stuff of legends. Rugged, durable, everlasting. Toyota makes trucks that just don't quit. And now Toyota is driving that legacy toward the future with two of their most powerful trucks ever, the new Tundra and the all-new Tacoma. In a half-ton Tundra, you can rule the roads. From the comfort of a spacious cabin with connected tech and plenty of hauling power, the Tundra is ready to work hard and play even harder. Or check out the all-new 24 Tacoma, redesigned and electrified to maximize your adventure. With a bevy of available off-road driving and power transfer modes, you will effortlessly crush the conditions. And with the Tacoma's reimagined interior, you'll do it in style. And right now, your local Toyota dealer has more vehicles in stock and is making delivery on new vehicles almost every day. So don't wait. Buy a Tundra or Tacoma today. Visit buyatoyota.com for deals and more. Toyota, let's go places.
We really need new phones.
T-Mobile will cover the cost of 4 amazing new iPhone 15s, and each line is only $25 a month.
New iPhone 15s?
It's better over here. Only at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 15s on us and 4 lines for $25 per line per month with eligible trade-in when you switch.
Minimum of 4 lines for $25 per line per month with autopay discount using debit or bank account. $5 more per line without autopay, plus taxes and fees. Phone fee at 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers. Contact us before canceling account to continue bill credits or credit stop and balance on required finance agreement due. $35 per line connection charge applies. See T-Mobile.com.